welcome to the Good Talk Podcast, where we remind you of the joy of life, the love of God, and the possibilities that lie ahead. My name is Pete, and I'm joined with my wife, Jordan.
What's up? How are you?
How are you?
I asked you first.
I know, but I'm asking you, how are you? Because it's been an eventful day for you.
Isn't it always?
It really is.
I feel like there's something I do.
Always an adventure with you. So here's what happened. Our friend Nikki came over. We're interviewing her she's our first guest.
Yeah.
So
I'm
excited.
She's
You're going to
awesome.
love her. I'll tell you about her in a second. But she's here. Jordan had lit a candle, well, as you often do. We're having people over. We're standing over in the kitchen. If you're just listening to this on, regular podcasts, you're not watching it on YouTube, or you don't know Jordan, follow her on Instagram, then you don't know that she has like 3 foot long blonde hair.
Got a lot of hair.
Did have 3 foot long blonde hair. So she's standing there. She whips her hair around in such a way that it catches the candle, and like a fireball went up. Your hair caught on fire.
My armpits are still sweating. I truly, I know this is dramatic, and this is a very tiny blip on most people's radar of injuries, but the fireball coming up the side of your head is really hard to unsee. I feel like it's just,
it was scary. I mean, Nikki and I both kind of just jumped into action.
And it's one of those things you don't realize is happening until it's too late.
Yeah.
And y'all, the smell of my hair.
Oh gosh, it smells terrible.
It smells so bad. I didn't have time to take a shower before we did this. I mean,
it still smells bad.
Oh my God. That's all I can smell. I have a headache.
Smell,
It's the worst. If you don't like someone, get them a candle that smells like burnt hair, because, man.
I hope they don't have those. That's
be a funny gag gift. Anyways, yeah, I burnt my hair off.
Yeah.
So that's
so
cool.
that's where it started. But it ended up great because we got to talk with Nikki. She's our first guest. She's awesome. Nikki, just quick background, is one of the managers for Kane Brown. She's his day-to-day manager.
He's
Kane
a country
Brown,
artist.
Country artist. If you listen to music at all, you know who Kane is. He's country, but he's also done duets with.
He's country, but he has really expanded the boundaries of country, I think, in an amazing way. He's crossed all the kinds of genres. He's sang with
Khalid, Marshmello,
John Legend. He's everywhere. Goodness gracious. He's so amazing.
You literally can't turn on the radio without hearing one of his songs. He's just that big right now.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. And she works with him. So Nikki's our friend. We've also gotten to do some work with Nikki and some work with Kane. He's not only an incredible artist, he's just a good person.
He is a
We've
good
loved
dude.
getting to know him over the past couple of years and his family. And he's got great people around him, Nikki being one of them, who are just helping kind of chart this course for him. That's unbelievable. That's not, though, why we brought her in here to interview her. She thought that's why we were going to interview her.
Yeah.
I told her, hey, I just want to talk to you about chasing dreams, because she's accomplished so much. And when you hear her story, she's going to blow you away.
Oh my gosh.
She thought that's what it was about, but really I wanted to surprise her, and I wanted to tell her something I'd never told her before about how she changed my life recently.
The whole course of your life.
Yep. And I'm going to talk to her about that. And I love the way this conversation went. If you're someone right now who's chasing a dream or a goal, and maybe you just haven't gotten traction with it, or haven't had the right people come around you, or the timing seems off, or maybe you don't have the money for it yet, or you don't feel like you have the ability, whatever. If you just feel like it's out there, a little bit out of your reach, I think this conversation is for you.
Yeah. Nikki's energy alone just makes you feel like you can tackle the world. She's just one of those people that walks into your life and makes you immediately feel known, but just is such an encourager.
Yeah.
And so anyways, even though she's not talking directly to you, I guarantee you, listening to her, you somehow just feel intrinsically motivated. It's amazing. I love her. She's just a ball of light.
Yeah, it's great. So we're going to jump into that conversation before we do 2 quick things. Number 1, if you haven't already, rate, subscribe, review, subscribe on YouTube or iTunes or whatever. But it makes a big difference.
It does. It makes a huge difference, and we're really grateful. A lot of you have done that already, so thank you. But if you haven't, that would be so helpful.
Yep. And then after our conversation with Nikki, I have something really excited I'm going to announce today.
Oh my gosh, you've been working so hard on this.
I know. I'm really excited about it, and it's something I'm going to invite some of you into, at least a small group of you. And I think it's going to change what 2021 looks like for a bunch of us. So make sure you stay tuned for that at the end.
Yeah.
All right, without further
Talk
ado,
to Nikki.
let's jump into this conversation with Nikki Boon. Nikki!
Hi.
This is crazy. You are the first guest on this podcast.
Am I really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yes, the very
That's
first
a lot
guest.
of pressure.
Well, we had Obama scheduled, and he got sick, and so
Gosh, I'm so sorry.
I know,
So
but-
sorry.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
This is crazy. You are one of the most interesting people I know.
Thank you. I don't know how to
You really
respond
are.
to that.
No, you really are. There's certain people who, when you're around them, they kind of suck the life out of you. Don't name any names. You're not one of those people.
Okay. I was
No,
like, is that-
no, but you know what I'm saying? You're around certain people,
Yeah.
and you see them coming, or you see their name pop up on your phone. You're kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Anytime I see your name pop up on my phone, or I see you walking my way, like I instantly get excited
That's really nice.
because you just have a
Thank
great
you.
energy.
Thank you. I feel the same way about you. And Jordan. You guys are the best.
Thank you. So welcome to our living room.
Thank you.
We've decorated for Christmas. Can you tell?
I'm very glad that you did. I honestly, if I came in here and it wasn't decorated for Christmas, I'd be really disappointed.
I know you would.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about your story today, and I want to start with because people need to hear this story. This is amazing. You're in college. And I don't even know how. So the whole Dr. Pepper challenge thing, where you throw a football through what, a tire or
No, through a big Dr. Pepper can.
Okay, of course. It's a Dr. Pepper challenge, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna throw at halftime. At it was it an SEC
It was
game?
the SEC championship game when Cam Newton was still playing
Oh
for
my
the
gosh.
Auburn Tigers.
Wow,
War
that's right.
Eagles.
Okay, so I would have been watching that game. Okay, so how did you get there in the first place?
So I was going to school in Minneapolis to a school called North Central University, and I was a worship leading major.
Wow.
Actually, and
We have a friend named Levi, a mutual friend, who
Oh
was there
yeah, he helped me practice a couple
with you.
times.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
awesome.
that's real. And I always loved Dr. Pepper my whole life. Like where most people would have coffee in the morning, I would have a can of Dr. Pepper
Yeah.
every single day, multiple
Do you
times
still
a day.
do that?
I still have it quite often.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
But so I got the 12 pack that had the little like scholarship giveaway, and you kind of look at it and you're like, who do you know that's like ever won a pop contest? And I had met my now husband Jeff that year. I met him a week before he moved to Nashville to study music.
Wow.
And I was on the phone with him, and he just was like, why don't you just like try? What do you have to do? Send in a 1-minute video? He's like, you know how to like make videos? So I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like nobody wins this. He's like, just try it. You never know what's going to happen. It's like, yeah, you're right. Okay. So I like just sat in my little dorm room in college and put my like Dr. Pepper t-shirt on that I had in my room and made a video. And I was like, they'll never pick me because my story was like, I really want to go to Nashville and I want to like be in the music industry and I want to learn. And that's not really the stories that you expect to get like chosen for something like this. And I submitted my video and they called me 2 days later and they were like, oh, we love your video. We're going to have you come to Atlanta. You're a finalist and you're going to throw in this challenge and we'll like send you all the details. So actually my husband's dad, they're from Minneapolis. So he built me a replica of a Target. We got all the dimensions.
How cool is that?
He built it to where it could fold in half so I could like store it in my college apartment and just like carry it downstairs. And there was like all these different people. I'd be like, hey, I got to practice today. And they'd come out and I would do like 100 throws a day.
I love
Just
it. So,
practice.
okay, at some point, because what you're known for, what gets written up, you get talked about every year when this rolls around, the Dr. Pepper Challenge, because you changed the method in which you throw the ball.
Yes.
Everybody else was throwing it like a regular football.
Yeah, it's a
And you're
football
like,
game,
"Nah,
football contest.
I'm not going to throw the football that way. I'm going to find a different way. Where did that idea come from?
So I was working at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse
Yep.
and I was a hostess there. And there's a football player named Ray Edwards who played for the Vikings who would come in all the time. He was the nicest guy. He would always like talk to everybody there. And so he came in and I was like, hey, I'm doing this football contest
And do you have any advice about like throwing footballs? And he was like, are you good at throwing footballs? And I was like, not really. Like I do 100 throws and normally I'll get like 5 or 6 out of 10. And he was like, okay. He's like, you need to like throw it like this, like chest pass it. And I was like, can you do that? And he's like, it's really accurate. If they let you do it, you should do that. And I was like, okay. So I completely disregarded his information, his advice. And I was like, they're not going to let me do that. And I kept practicing the regular way. And it was actually the day before. And I think Levi was there for this. I was in the gym practicing, and it was him and then our friend John and then another one of our friends who said, like, this isn't going very well. Like, do you have any other, like, you're throwing left-handed, like, can you throw right-handed? Like, is there anything else you can do? And I was like, well, like, they told me to throw chest pass. And so, like, just try it. And I did the chest pass, and I got 10 out of 10. And I'd never gotten 10 out of 10 ever
You're
before.
Like, that's it. I'm going with that.
So, I literally stopped. I folded down my practice thing, and I brought it back to my dorm, and I emailed Dr. Pepper, and I was like, what's the rules? Like, can I throw it with 2 hands? And they were like, as long as it goes from your hands to the target without like hitting the ground or anything, you're good. And I was like, okay. So even when I got there and we had like the practices, because there was 5 people that went there. So we had to have preliminaries. And the first round, I did the chest pass, but I didn't practice like that.
Yeah.
With the first round, I only got 5 out of 10 and I tied another guy. So I almost didn't make it to the finals. And the second round, I beat him by 1. And then that's how I got to the finals. But man, that was
and even in the finals, you did in the SEC championship game in front of how many people?
Yeah.
Probably.
Gosh, I think it was like 80,000 people.
80,000 people. Mm-hmm. You won.
Yeah.
You got the scholarship.
Yep.
$123,000.
That's right.
You moved to Nashville.
20 days later, moved to Nashville.
To ultimately chase your dream.
Mm-hmm. Which initially was to come down here and pursue music as an artist.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a country artist, live in Nashville. Like I can do this. I'm going to study music business. So I know all the ins and outs of like how this works so I can do it. And then as I started learning and interning, I had my first internship with Teresa George at the Academy of Country Music.
Wow.
She was at the Dr. Pepper throw. She was there. Yeah. And after I won, she was like, when you move to Nashville, and she's the one that brought me to Cross Point my first Sunday that I was here and walked me up and introduced me to you. And this was back in 2010.
Oh my gosh.
It was literally my first Sunday in Nashville. That's what I did. So there's a little
That's crazy.
moment,
that makes me feel a little bit old.
No, it makes me feel old.
Funny story the other day, there was somebody over at our house and I'd never met her, and she came up, she's like, I've known you since my sophomore year of college. And in my mind, I was like, my immediate first thought was, I don't remember going to college with her. And it literally took me like 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, she meant she started attending Cross Point, a church I was pastoring, when she was a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, she's a lot younger than me.
Don't you love those moments?
I know, they're so humbling. Okay, so you moved to Nashville. You make this is your life, Nikki. This is why I love talking to you. Eventually, like, you do all the stuff. You do the hard work. You learn the business. Mm-hmm. You make some different connections. You run into Martha.
Yes.
And
my queen.
Yes. And now here you are today. You are, for people who don't know, you are the day-to-day manager for Kane Brown, who has to be one of the biggest celebrities there is in country music. And outside of country music, I mean, he does stuff with Khalid, with Marshmello, with you can't turn the radio on any station and not hear this guy.
That's great. That's what I want to hear.
It's true. And it's just unbelievable. Are there times that you look around, you're like, I am just way in over my head?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just in the same breath, it's like, I don't understand how I'm like this lucky to be in this position, because it's just the things that we get to do and the opportunities and the places we go and the people that we meet and experiences that we have. I just feel like completely overwhelmed by how incredible of an opportunity it is that I'm doing this. Yeah.
And I'll talk about this in a second, but I've had the opportunity to be kind of behind the scenes and watch you do what you do. And it's unbelievable. Like the creativity, just the imagination, just you're doing things on such a large international scale, and it's moving so fast. And it's I don't know, it's fun watching you guys work behind the scenes. I've never watched probably this closely an artist explode into what Kane's exploded into, and see the behind the scenes happening.
Yeah.
And it's just fascinating to watch. Okay, I have a question though.
Okay.
Like, you meet a lot of celebrities these days because you're with Kane pretty much everywhere he goes. What's the like one celebrity that you met that you're like, whoa, like it just freaked you out?
Jordan's going to love this.
Okay.
Because it's, I love my husband, Jeff, very much. And he knows how much I love John Mayer as well.
John Mayer.
And because Kane is signed to Sony and John is signed to Sony, when he came here in a couple years ago and did his tour, it was actually like he released the first song out of that Search for Everything.
Yeah.
And I emailed Randy Goodman, who's, just the CEO and chairman of Sony Nashville. I was like, hey, John Mayer put out a song today. So if there's anything I'm ever going to ask you for when he comes to Nashville, because he'll inevitably tour this record, could I please have a meet and greet with you guys? And he let Martha and I go with like the Sony executive team. I don't know if I should, yeah, it's fine. It was a long time ago.
And you got to meet
he let
John.
us go. And
Was it everything you hoped it would be?
I really messed up.
You did?
Really messed up.
What'd you
do? Well, I was pretty starstruck. And I was trying to be, like, I had to be cool because I'm with the Sony executive team. Like, I can't be a fangirl. Like, I have to be like, yeah, I'm here. We work with Kane Brown. I'm legitimate. Like, I'm normal. It's fine. And Randy introduced me, like, this is Nikki. She's, like, a huge fan. And she told me that I had to, like, bring her here and give you this and do this meet and greet. And he's like, great. And he's like, I haven't finished, like, the set list yet. So he's like, what song could I play for you that would just really mess you up? And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
Everything in my life, I can sing you every word to every song.
You couldn't name a song.
The only song I could think of was this song called Comfortable, and I didn't want to say it because I feel like I remembered hearing that he doesn't like to play that one live, and he just kept saying, no, tell me one, and I was like, Comfortable, and he just went, oh man, and I was like, no, my whole life I've been preparing for this moment.
That is so funny.
Yeah, and then he like put his arm out. I was like, oh, you're gonna give me a hug, and he goes, well, I think we're gonna take a picture. And I was just like, 2 times in a row, dead. And I just stood there and smiled.
I love this story. I love your vulnerability. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure. I got to meet him. It's fine. We have a great picture from it. So
Yeah, exactly. You can make up any story you want to.
It was amazing.
Heck, I'm John Mayer. I was afraid it was going to be that. It always comes back to John Mayer. I can't shake the guy.
I don't know what to tell
It
you.
is what it is. All right. So one of the things I want to talk about today that I didn't tell you I wanted to talk about on purpose.
Okay.
Because you kept bugging me about what are we going to talk about?
I got nervous.
No, I understand. Everybody wants to be prepared. But I wanted to tell a story. And this is really why I have you here. And it's a story from my life a couple years ago. I was at a place where I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I'm still trying to figure that out. I think we all are, right? And I had some ideas. And one of my ideas was, I was like, I want to start this company where we help entertainers, whether it's artists or athletes, whatever, figure out what is it that they're really passionate about besides singing or playing football or playing basketball. What is it they're really passionate about, and how can we take their passion and connect it with people and causes? So I just, from my days at Crosspoint, every once in a while I would meet these different artists who would give large sums of money, and one is essentially they'd say, we just want to make a difference, right? Taylor Swift was one of the first ones who ever just stroked this massive check and was like, do something good with this.
Yeah.
And we did. We started these schools over in India, and it was awesome. But I just thought, man, if we could have connected her check with what her real passion was, that would have been a home run. So I was like, I want to start this company. I'm going to call it Good Vibes Management. I want to connect artists and athletes to their cause. And then I'm like, but I got to understand the industry. I don't understand the music industry. I've been around artists, but not the business side and how everything's connect. And so I'm literally just going through my Instagram feed. I'm like, surely I know some people. I'm in Nashville.
Yeah.
I know some people who are in the music industry, and somehow I come across your photo. And we had met at Crosspoint, but I didn't really know you.
Yeah.
So I just blindly reach out to you. And I'm like, hey, Nikki, I don't know if you know me. My name's Pete. I'm like, I'm trying to figure some things out. Would you have coffee with me and just hear me out? And you said yes. And so I meet you with coffee. I tell you about this idea. You didn't just listen to the idea. You start brainstorming the idea with me. And within minutes, you're like, actually, like, I think the artist I work with, who is Kane Brown, we could do some things there. And before I know it, just this little idea, you know, you listened to it, you encouraged it. Then you went out of your way to actually connect. And here we are a couple years later. We've done some awesome things together with Kane.
Yeah.
And Kane's been incredible and done some amazing work at the Boys and Girls Club. I got to go on tour with you guys for some time. Jordan got to do it as well. He, you know, has connected with these kids and raised more than $100,000 now for the Boys and Girls Club. All of that happened because you said yes to a cup of coffee. All of that happened because you were willing to just listen to me, hear this dream and idea I had, and not only did you encourage it, but you actually connected me to the people who could help me execute it. And I was just thinking recently, I was talking to Jordan about this. I was like, everyone needs a Nikki in their life.
Aww.
I'm serious. That's actually what I'm calling this episode, is everybody needs a Nikki.
That's like I don't know what to
serious.
say. That's really nice. Can I say one funny thing about this moment? And
Yes.
I don't mean to like bring it to a funny thing, but like
No.
I literally like that email went to my junk. I'm not kidding. It went to my junk
email
mail.
to you?
Yes. And which don't feel bad. I have to check my junk mail
That's all
every
right.
single day the same way I check my inbox because that's how messed up my email is. And I remember I actually had gone through and just like selected all and deleted, and then you know, you have to know like it when a God thing is a God thing. But like I looked and I was like, did that say Pete Wilson? And then I went back through my trash and there was a lot at that one. So I had to really like scrub through, and I was like, okay. And I clicked it and I was like, I think I'm being catfished.
That's so
I did
funny.
not believe that like you had actually reached out. I was like, because I like have been the biggest fan of you since I've first met you and heard you speak. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like Pete sent me an email. Is this real? And I called Jeff right away and I was like, I think Pete Wilson emailed me. and I was like, I'm going to set up this coffee and like see if it's real. And up until the point that I saw you at the coffee shop, I was on the phone with Jeff. Like, if this isn't Pete, I'm at the barista parlor in Germantown, or I'm sorry, in the Gulch.
Funniest story ever.
And then I was like, wait, no, it's him. It's good. Okay, we're good. And then I was like, oh crap, now I'm nervous again. So like, that was like such a funny moment too, where I was just excited. I was just as excited to meet. I was so excited about it.
Well, I've thought about that moment so many times, and for me, and really, what I want to encourage everyone listening to this podcast is, I think there's two scenarios here. I think there's some people who desperately do need a Nikki in their life right now. Like they have a goal, they have a dream, they have an idea, and they haven't had that right person kind of show up yet and say, I think this is a good idea. You know, like that coffee we had could have gone one of two ways. You could have said, good idea, but, you know, not the right timing, or, you know, I actually don't think that's ever going to work. But you didn't. You seized it. You found the right angle for it. You helped shape that idea. So I think there are some people right now who feel like their dream is, you know, it's not denied, but it's been delayed because they don't have that Nikki in their life. They don't have that person who's encouraging them, who's like, yeah, you're qualified. You can do this, right? And we all need that person. And then the other side of the coin is, I think there's a group of people. This would be actually everybody listening to this right now. They have the ability to be a Nikki to somebody else.
That I feel weird saying yes because that's my name in it or whatever, but I hear what you're saying, and yeah, you're right.
They have the ability to just encourage somebody and say, you know what? I believe in you.
Yeah.
I believe in that idea. I believe in that dream. I'm gonna encourage you. I'm gonna be your number one fan. I'm gonna sit on the front row and cheer you on. And I just think that we all need that desperately. And I just, you know, I look back over this past year, and there's just so much we could complain about from 2020. And we're going in this new year where we all hope it's different. But like, is it gonna be different? Like, the only thing that makes it different is the way that we view it.
Yeah.
And the way we behave and we act. And I just think about, wow, what would it be like if we all found just that one person in our life right now that needs a little bit of encouragement, who needs to hear you're qualified.
Yeah.
You can do this. I believe in you. I'm for you. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
And that's what you did for me.
Thanks, Pete. Oh,
I'm gonna try not to get emotional about this, but I'm serious. I needed that. In that moment, I needed somebody to believe in me. And that was you. And I will forever be grateful for that.
well, I have to say that I'm so grateful for the fact that you just like reached out. And I remember when we went in and I met you the first time, and then I brought you to go meet Martha, who Martha, I mean, she's I feel like, times 100 of just being an encourager and like that kind of thing of what I've ever done. But and I've learned that. I mean, I've learned so much of that from her. And like, I remember when we just like got in there and then we just started brainstorming, like it was, when you say that, I think even on my side, even going back to the Dr. Pepper thing, I said I wanted to change the world with music.
Yep.
That was the thing that I said in my video. And I had no idea what that meant at that time. And I feel like when we started doing the work with you that we're doing with Kane, and seeing the impact that Kane has been able to have on people all over the world in so many different circumstances, and the fact that like I get to be involved, I feel like it's finally brought that to me where I now know what I meant 10 years ago when I said I wanted to change the world with music. And like, because all of these things have come together, you've also helped me been able to figure out what that actually meant. Like that was just something I said at the point and had no idea. And now it's like, you can do that through like the people that you work, like people all coming together and like doing these things together can make such a big impact on people, even when you don't even realize it. But it's the same thing. You brought it all the way full circle for me.
I love it.
So,
man, this stuff's it's just not an accident.
No, everything happens for a reason.
Okay, you've listened to this podcast. You know that we all the time ask these 4 questions of just random people. Today it's not so random because I'm going to ask you these 4 questions.
Okay.
Just whatever pops into your head, okay? There's no right answer. You ready? Mm-hmm. First one's this. What's your favorite hobby?
I would say I really like to cook. I like to try to figure out things. I watch the Food Network
Are you a good
lot.
Cook? What would Jeff say?
Yeah. Well, Jeff's the most, I mean, you want to talk about somebody being an encouraging person in your life? That's Jeff Braun. I'm telling you, every day, like that guy, he is a gift from God for me. Every day when I walk downstairs, it doesn't matter if I'm wearing a hoodie and leggings or like an actual like outfit that I tried to put together. He was, that's a great outfit, Nick. Literally every single day. So
Jeff,
no,
you're a good man.
That's awesome. Yeah, he loves it. But no, I like to watch like the Food Network and figure out things and cook them. And
I love that.
I like to do that.
I love that. All right, what would you tell the 15-year-old Nikki? If you could go back and talk to yourself when you were 15 years old, what would you say?
I think I know I kind of just said it, but I think I would just say that like everything happens for a reason. Because I think sometimes I'll look back and be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, or I could have done this, or I, shouldn't have listened to this person. But I think the good things and the bad things, everything that you go through makes you, and I mean, I've even learned that from Kane. He says it all the time, it makes you who you are today. Yep. And so just to keep going, like everything is happening for a reason. It's building you to like be able to do what you're supposed to do. I
love that. What do you want to be known for?
Well, gosh, now I feel like I know I know exactly what to say. I really hope that I'm known for like helping people believe in their dreams. Like I want to be an encourager. I feel like you've almost motivated me now even more to like look into other people and like things going on in my life and figure out how I can help people, believe in their dreams. That's so nice that you said all that, but it's like that is really a huge passion for me because I believe in people and I love people and I want people to have their dreams come true. I don't know. Yeah.
That's good. Last one. What gives you hope?
I think these questions are so funny because I feel like they're all so tied, but I think full circle moments give me hope because I think there's been so many times where something has gone wrong or bad, and then I'll remember like how something else has come so full circle, and it just reminds me that like, okay, it's okay, like this is going to come around. So I think full circle moments for me.
Nikki, thank you so much for being our first guest ever on the Good Talk podcast.
Thank you for having having me. I feel so excited to be here.
You were awesome. Obama will, I'm sure he'll be okay with the fact that you replaced him.
Yeah, especially after today.
No, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Don't you love her? Oh my gosh. She's the best. She has so much energy. And she is one of those people that everyone's grateful to know.
Yeah, she's great. And I tried so hard to not get emotional. I was like, you can hold it together. You can hold it together. No. But there's, it's an emotional thing when you kind of transport yourself back to that moment where, for whatever reason, you couldn't necessarily believe in your own idea or your own dream. You couldn't believe in yourself, but somebody does for you what you can't do for yourself, and they believe in you even when you can't.
Yeah, that's such a gift.
It is, and I'm just so grateful. There's so many key moments in my life where that's happened, and Nikki obviously was one of those, but man, I'm just really grateful for, God has always used community to confront my desire to give up.
That's really good.
Yeah. So
Love her.
Yep. All right. Well, I promised at the beginning of the podcast I was going to tell you guys about something I'm super excited about and ready to announce, and that is that going into this next year, I'm going to launch I don't know if you want to call it a curriculum, a chorus, a community.
Did you say a chorus?
Yeah.
A course.
Course?
Isn't it like a chorus when you sing together,
You can go through a course.
A course, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think when people think we were starting a band.
Yeah, no. But getting ready to launch this. It's called Dream Year.
Yes, I love it.
And I'm super excited. There's so much talk these days about, everybody, I'm done with 2020. I'm ready for 2021, all that. Which, again, who's not? My thing is this. What is going to be that different about 2021 other than the fact that the calendar changes, right? Yeah, vaccine. Hopefully we have a vaccine and that changes COVID, but then changes a lot of things. But the reality is, COVID's not the only thing that made 2020 a rough year for a lot of us.
Right.
And I just think that there's a lot of people out there that have some dreams and some goals, some things they want to see
Nikki?
happen in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they need some help, right? They not only need a Nikki, they need, I think one of the biggest problems a lot of us have is we don't really know how to set and accomplish goals.
Yeah.
And so I want to launch this Dream Year. It's going to be for a small group of people, just 20 people that I'm going to allow to kind of be a part of this. And there's 3 components to Dream Year that I'm really excited about. The first component is we'll just say practical training or inspiration. So once a month, I'm going to send you a video teaching that is kind of taking on some of the different issues that we all face that keep us from accomplishing our goals and our dreams. This could be stuff like, how to defeat procrastination, how to overcome, the anxiety that comes along with stepping out and trying something new.
Yeah.
We'll talk through how to get real clear and make sure that your goal is actually, an achievable goal. We're going to talk about what I think is the greatest enemy to our goals and our dreams, which is actually distraction and how we can limit that in our life.
Yeah.
So
lots of different exercises and practical things I've seen you put into place in your own life. You're extremely humble and wouldn't say this out loud, but you have tackled some major goals and broke through some major barriers in your life. So I'm excited to, hear you kind of walk through not only your experience, but your mentors who have spoken into your life. You have gone through a lot of that. So you have your own experience, but you also truly are the most disciplined person I know. And you can put so many of what you experience into these exercises that make it very practical.
Oh, I hope so, because that's a big part. Is first component is again there's the teaching, but there's the worksheets. There's the exercises that really help.
Yeah.
The second component is probably the part I'm most excited about is once a month we're going to do a live coaching call together where we're going to walk through what's working in your plan, what's not working in your plan, what needs to be modified in your plan to reach your goals and your dreams. And that's really where it's kind of life on life.
Yeah.
And we can kind of work through that stuff and brainstorm that together. And then the third component is going to be a private Facebook group that we're going to do. And that's where you can just invite others to hold you accountable if you wish, to kind of help you kind of get through this year.
Share updates.
It's a year-long process.
Networking. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
months.
12-month deal.
Yeah.
Where 20 of us are going to walk together in helping you accomplish your dream and your goal for 2021. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this. And so this would be for anyone who has a dream, has a goal, have something you want to accomplish in 2021, but you kind of feel like, I don't know if I can do this by myself.
Yeah.
And I'd even go further, because some of you right now are probably saying, I don't have a big dream. I don't have a big goal for 2021. And I want to call your bluff on that. I actually don't believe that. I think what often happens is we all have this long history of unmet goals and dreams. And so we kind of, for self-protection, we become very cynical over time about those unmet goals and dreams, right? So we become cynical towards all dreams and all goals, and we just stop setting it because we're afraid if we set a goal and we try, maybe there's public failure that's involved, all that.
Yeah.
So I just want to call your bluff, and I think there probably is something deep inside of you that desperately wants next year to be very different than this year.
Yeah.
And along with that are some dreams and goals. And maybe your goal is just, hey, it's a personal goal. I want to lose weight, or I want to save more money. Maybe it's bigger. You want to launch a business. You got something really big you're wanting to do in your life. Like, it really doesn't matter the size, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
If it's important to you, it's important to us.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. And, I think about the goals in my life that I've accomplished, and it was only because of the people I put around I had around me. It's kind of, I don't know, it drives me crazy that even in my own mind, I'm not always just determined enough by myself. But man, I'm so excited to kind of watch the transformation of people's dreams and goals, and really over the year, just form that community, but also just to see people hitting those benchmarks that they've wanted to hit.
So
for a
we're
long
looking
time.
for 20 people to join us. I think it's going to be
20
great.
people.
All you have to do is go where? To
theplaceforgood.com. That is our website.
theplaceforgood.com.
And click on Dream Year. You'll see it. That'll really break it down. It'll break down the 3 components. It'll also kind of say if you fall in one of these camps, this might be for you. And there's also a form there. If you have questions, y'all can reach out via that, and we can answer any questions you have.
Placeforgood.com. I love that.
Theplaceforgood.com. Yep.
Because we're the
Check
Good
it
Talk
out.
Podcast.
Good talk.
Theplaceforgood.com. Gotta fly. It drives me crazy.
I know.
Sorry. Well, anyway, this has been great. I've really enjoyed this today. It's been a good talk.
Good talk.
Yeah. So, hey,
Love
may
it.
may the Lord bless you. May He protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you His favor and give you His peace.